What if I told you guys that I can give you some incredible choices for fragrances that are very, very affordable, even cheap if you will, that will smell amazing, perform well, and be very close to very, very expensive counterparts. You want to know what they are? I'm sure you do. If you guys want to know what they are, stick around. The video's coming up right now. Welcome back to another video. I'm Max Forti. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about a topic that I get asked quite often, whether in email, DM, PM messages. You guys always ask me, hey Max, do you have an alternative to such and such fragrance? I don't want to spend so much money on this fragrance. What are the best options or cheapies that will smell close to this fragrance, give me the same kind of a vibe or the same kind of experience? So in hopes to help you guys find incredible fragrances that will not break the wallet, will not hurt your bank, I'm going to give you guys some amazing choices of cheapies that actually smell like very expensive counterparts. So let's get right into the choices, guys. And again, if you do enjoy this video, if you want me to continue this series, I have a ton of great options. I perhaps have a list of about 40 to 50 fragrances that are cheapies that smell like very expensive fragrances. So if you want me to continue the series, you know the drill. Leave it in a like. If this video hits 500 or more likes, I will continue the series on this channel. So without any further ado, guys, let's hop into the choices. First choice here is going to be an amazing fragrance from what is my favorite car brand of all time, and I'm talking about Bentley. And the fragrance at hand, there's a ton of great fragrances from this house, but the one we're talking about today is going to be Men Absolute. Now, this particular fragrance is dark, it's resinous, it's woodsy, it's long-lasting, it's powerful. And this particular fragrance here, it smells so good. This particular fragrance is going to be 85% close to a very expensive fragrance. Now, it's very expensive. It was more expensive to begin with because it's a designer, it's a high-end designer fragrance. So even if it was being produced today, you'd look to pay about 90 bucks for this fragrance, but since it's discontinued and hard to find, you're talking anywhere from $300 to $500 depending on the size, the condition, how much juice is left. Just to give you a little bit of an understanding, the fragrance I'm talking about is Gucci Pour Homme 1, which was released, I believe, in 2005 or 2006. We're talking about minis like this, 5 ml, just like this one right here, that you can find on eBay and Amazon between $90 and $100 for a 5 ml minis. When you're talking about the actual bottle like this, 100 ml, you're talking 300, 400, sometimes 500. I've seen it for 600 bucks. I know it's sickening, it's disgusting, but it goes to show, the market is dictated by supply and demand. It's been discontinued for many years now, and it's one of the most sought after Gucci fragrances of all time. The time this was released, the creative director of Gucci was actually Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford years before he actually came up with his own private blend. But anyway, conversation for a different day. Here's the deal. You can find this fragrance here, Bentley Men Absolute, for no more than $35 USD. And again, I'm going to have this link below along with all the fragrances I'm sharing with you to make your life easier. Great stuff, long-lasting, dark, resinous, borrows elements from this fragrance almost to the T, like I said, 85% and long-lasting, guys. So if you miss Gucci Pour Homme 1 or you never heard of it, but you wanted something different, very unique, definitely consider checking this one out. Like I said, Bentley is my favorite car brand, and they do a tremendous job with their releases, and this one here is no different. Next up, we have a fragrance here that is hardly ever mentioned in the fragrance community. I think about 2 years ago, I did a video, which was a BBB, Big Bang for Your Buck series that I had on this channel back then, and I did talk about this fragrance, and I know a lot of places that had this fragrance actually sold out. This fragrance is called Marone's Black Pour Homme, and this is the fragrance. The juice is going to be like the teal, bluish green kind of a fragrance, and what this fragrance is going to be a fruity vetiver that has this roasted nuts kind of a feel, like a nutty, roasted, fruity, nutty kind of a hazelnut. And what this fragrance reminds me, it's very long lasting, very powerful, smells amazing. And what this fragrance reminds me, you can find 100 ml like this, by the way, between $40 and $60 depending on where you buy this fragrance from. But get a load of this. This fragrance reminds me of two fragrances combined. Both fragrances share a lot of similarities. One is a little bit more floral than the other. And the fragrance I'm talking about is going to be Bal d'Afrique from Byredo, which I think a 50 ml is about $190. And Vetiver Tonka from the Hermès collection, which this particular fragrance retails for about 300 bucks. So it's going to have a little bit of elements from both fragrances. This one has more of a floral take on vetiver. This has more of a hazelnut, roasted hazelnut take on vetiver. It's fruity, it's nutty. This one here is going to be more floral, but they're both very close to each other, like they could be cousins or brothers. And this one here takes elements from both fragrances, combining into this beautiful fragrance here that I'm telling you, $40, $60. a bargain for this fragrance, guys. Still around. I don't know if it's been discontinued. Not as easy to find as it was when I shared it about 2 years ago. If you're a vetiver lover like myself, definitely get a bottle of Marone's Black. You're gonna love it, guys. I know I do, and again, it's a great vetiver fragrance and a great option too. Otherwise, I mean, if you're looking to purchase both these fragrances, you're gonna spend about 500 bucks. The Marone's less than 100, guys. Check it out. You're gonna love it. The next fragrance I'm going to share with you guys was one of the most talked about fragrance brands here when it came to niche fragrances a few years ago. Not so much in the past 5-6 years. It's kind of like going downhill. It's a fragrance brand that people don't talk much about, but they do have some really cool hidden gems, including the one I'm going to share here with you, which is going to be this maple syrup, coffee, lavender kind of a fragrance. It's a fragrance that the nose behind is Maurice Roussel, which is a great perfumer. And the fragrance brand I'm talking about is Bun No. 9, and the fragrance at hand is going to be Bun No. 9's New Harlem. An amazing, coffee, type of a fragrance which has a gorgeous maple syrup note, coffee, lavender, resinous, gourmandish kind of a fragrance. If you love coffee and maple, this stuff here will definitely scratch where you itch. The good thing is, there is a great alternative to this fragrance. The bad thing is this has been discontinued, so even if you wanted to get a bottle of Bun No. 9, which would run you $220 to $330 depending on the size, you can actually, now that this is discontinued, New Harlem, it's going to be even more expensive when you do find it. I've seen this stuff for like over $400 on Amazon. So the good news is there is a great alternative that's going to cost less than $20, and it's going to smell about 90% close to this fragrance. And I'm talking about Michael Jordan's Legend. This stuff here is beast. It's powerful. It's long lasting. And I'm telling you, when you compare these fragrances side by side, it's going to be 90% closer. Of course, this one here, Bun No. 9, is going to be a lot better quality, a lot, better constructed. If I'm not mistaken, Maurice Roussel is actually the nose behind this fragrance as well. So goes to show, very close, but 90% similar. This is going to be a little bit more pungent, a little bit stronger. The initial blast, it's going to be where it's going to be a little hard to bear. But once you get between 30-40 minutes into this fragrance, the qualities are very similar. The nuances are very, very close. Like I said, 90% close for less than $20. Definitely consider checking this one out. If you missed this fragrance, or if you never tried this fragrance, but you want to have the same experience, this one here will definitely give you that experience for a lot less of a price tag. This next one happens to be, quote unquote, the unofficial scent of New York City, because I'm telling you, I work in New York City. If you walk around New York City, you're going to definitely stumble upon a whole bunch of people wearing this fragrance throughout the day. And the fragrance I'm talking about is Santal 33 from the house of Le Labo, which is very expensive. A 50 ml is going to run you, I think, $200 and something, $220 if I'm not mistaken. It is a great scent. It's going to be, surrounding the note of sandalwood. It's a little bit floral as well. Smells great, very uncanny, very unique sandalwood type of fragrance. Smells great, but it has been copied a few times. There's a couple brands that actually did a good job. In fact, I did a dual video for you guys where this fragrance here clashed up against two fragrances, one of which I'm going to share with you today. Actually, I'll talk about both. One of the options that would be very close to this fragrance, about 70%, would be Sarah Jessica Parker's Stash, which has been discontinued, so it's going to get harder to find very soon, but you could still pick it up for a really good price if you can find it. But another one that you can easily find that I think has tremendous quality, it outperforms this fragrance here because it just does. This fragrance has been reformulated a couple of times. Santal 33 is not as powerful as it once was. So if you want a great alternative that's about 90% close, which I actually think it's a little creamy, a little smoother due to the sandalwood that it has, along with the saffron, I would definitely go with this fragrance here by KIERIN NYC, and the fragrance I'm talking about is Santal Sky. This stuff here smells heavenly, like I said, about 90-95% close to Santal 33, and I love that saffron / sandalwood combination that I get with this fragrance. It gets even better as it warms up with your body chemistry. Again, I have that video that I dual these fragrances up, and I'm going to pop it up here so you guys can check out that video and really understand what this fragrance is all about. But I don't want this video to drag too long, but all I'm going to say is, if you like Santal 33, or if you ever tried this fragrance, you're going to know that this is going to be very close to it, and it's going to outperform that fragrance for a fraction of the cost. This actually costs about $80, $84, with a code even better, which again, I'll have a link below. I think I have a code for you guys with KIERIN NYC right now. Definitely take advantage of it. The whole brand of KIERIN NYC is amazing. They do a fantastic job with their blends, the uniqueness of their fragrances. And this one here just happens to be very close to Santal 33. Actually outperforms for a fraction of the cost, guys. Again, all the information linked for you guys. Check it out. You're not going to disappoint. Again, one of the best indie niche brands out there, period. Hidden gem alert, guys. Talk about a fragrance that's gonna blow your mind, guys. Now, this fragrance I'm gonna share with you right now. Again, if you do enjoy this content, if you wanna see more cheapies that smell like very expensive fragrances, definitely hit that like button. Like I said, if this hits 500 or more likes, I'll come up with part 2, part 3. I have a lot of fragrances that are cheapies that smell very close to very expensive counterparts. So this last one here, I left this one here on purpose because, number one, it smells like a very bold, very powerful boss CEO type of a fragrance. Number two, the fragrance that I'm talking about has also been recently discontinued, so it's fetching a pretty penny when you find it. The fragrance at hand here is going to be Tom Ford Oud Wood, which is an amazing fragrance. Definitely one of the best Tom Ford private blends. Sadly discontinued, but from what I hear, it will be ported into the signature collection. So by fall this year, you'll be able to find this fragrance into their, signature fragrances, just like they did with Beau de Jour, just like they recently did with Costa Azzurra. But in case that doesn't happen, or if you don't want to wait that long until late fall to be able to pick this fragrance up, or you don't want to pay $200-300, sometimes even $400 for this fragrance, I have a great alternative that you guys probably never heard of. Uncanny, the similarities here. We're talking about 90% plus. Very powerful, long-lasting. The fragrance is amazing, and the fragrance brand is very well known for very affordable pricing and very long-lasting and powerful fragrances. The fragrance I'm talking about is Nawaf, and the brand is Swiss Arabian. Now here's the bottle. The bottle can be a little tacky, with all the little gems and everything. It's a metal cap, metal bottle. The spares aren't the best, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the juice is going to be 95% close to tobacco oud. It's going to be boozy. It's going to be that beautiful sweet oud combination with the resins. It's long lasting. It's powerful, bold, CEO type of a scent. What I would say between the two, the only difference, that 10-15% difference is going to be on the smokiness that this fragrance has. This here is not smoky at all. I find this to be more resinous than anything else. But this one here is going to be, besides that boozy effect that you get, it's going to have a little bit of a smoky facet, which is not a bad thing. I actually really enjoy. But when it comes to the scent itself, these are going to be very, very close to each other. But like I said, 90% plus to the real thing. So for a fraction of the cost, guys, this stuff here can be had very cheap. I'm going to list it below, so if you guys want to check it out, definitely do so. You're not going to disappoint. You're going to smell amazing. You're going to smell like $1 million for a lot less. Like I said, you can pick up all these fragrances here, and you're going to smell like very expensive fragrances. So I think it's really cool. If you guys want me to continue to do these series, I'll be happy to share some of my favorite cheapy fragrances that smell like very expensive ones. I hope you guys appreciate it. Whatever you are in the world, please show me your support. Hit the like button, touch the little subscriber button for me, and don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get notification when I post videos, which is quite often on this channel. That way you won't miss anything, coupon codes, savings, new releases. I keep you guys in the know. That's what we do here at the Max Forti channel. Guys, let me know in the comments which fragrances you guys love to wear that are cheapies but actually smell like very expensive fragrances. Perhaps you guys will share some of your favorites that I haven't even tried yet. So please sound off in the comments. As always, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Choose your fragrance wisely, wear them well. Today I'm going with Marone's Black Pour Homme. Smells amazing for a vetiver lover like myself. This is heavenly. Guys, stay tuned for a lot more. I'll see you right back here with another video very soon. Take care.